Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we'll get ready here from Eldora Speedway, USA for a wild evening of racing action. These drivers are ready to rock and roll. They are ready to go to battle here this evening as we are live from the beautiful Eldora Speedway. Man, this is going to be a ton of fun. This is going to be a great race. Jonathan Gaston coming in, showing the love here in this one. Amy Kelly says, Gaston, it's Elena. Let's go. There it starts. Yes, Sirski, you know it. Jonathan, let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, chat. Let's get these drivers ready to rock and roll here from Eldora. This is going to be an amazing race here this evening. I can't thank you guys all enough for tuning in and coming in and showing the love as we'll get ready to set these drivers loose here in just a couple more moments. Qualifying coming to a close, and we'll jump right into the heat race action. So heat race action gonna come up after this, and man, oh man, oh man, when we see these NASCAR trucks out there on the speedway, it becomes a ton of fun. See the beautiful number 5 ride out there on the speedway right now is the Gaston's iRacing Graphics number 5 machine rolling out there on the speedway of Josh Crider. Crider looking for a good lap time right there. He's gonna jump up into 9th on the speed chart as Jonathan Gaston currently with the quick time here in qualifying, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll here in just a few more moments. So as we get ready to rumble here in Eldora with the NASCAR trucks, we will quickly take a listen here as we got Lonnie Crider jumping in with our opening command here on the evening. So shout out to Lonnie Crider with the opening command.
Hey, once again, I'm Lonnie Crider, Grand Marshal. It's so good to be with you all tonight. What a great night that God has made for us to race again today. Good luck to all you drivers. We sure welcome all you drivers to come out there and drive and make a good showing for us and have exciting racing for us. Once again, thank all our sponsors. And tonight, we have a special guest with us tonight, and I'm going to turn that over to him right now.
Alrighty, you guys heard it first right there from Lonnie Crider as we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. And before we do so, we ask you to please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem as Landon Burbage going to come in with our national anthem here on the evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Landon Burbage on the trumpet, giving us our national anthem here on the evening. As qualifying has come to a close, we will get ready for heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 about to rumble out onto the speedway here behind our official iRacing pace truck, and that means we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. We got 30 laps the distance here in this one. 30 laps here, the distance for heat race number 1. We're going to split them into 2 groups here. I do believe everybody is going to make it into our A-main feature event. We were looking for the top 20, and I do believe 20 drivers are loaded into the simulator and ready to rock and roll here on the evening. It's starting on the pole, quickest in qualifying. It is the number 72. It's the Gaston iRacing Graphics number 72. It's Jonathan Gaston starting in that pole position. To his outside in the number 16 machine, that is the Racers for Christ ride. That is Matthew Wood. Starting in position number 3 in the Phoenix Esports, and number 88 is Dylan Carrier. They're in third. Into his outside in the number 3 machine, that is the Robert Up Productions ride. The Optic Gaming machine, that is Jordan Hand. Starting in position number 5 on the Speedway in the 5 ride, that is Josh Crider. Into his outside in the number 54, it's the Mobile 1 machine of Thomas Horvath. Starting in position number 7 on the Speedway in the 38, that is Dallas Seward. To his outside in the Sim Racing Center 74, that is Jaden Porter. And bringing up our final row here in heat race number 1, it is the 8 ride. Well, it's actually the 7, the Sun Drop machine of Nathan Brookover and Chris Getz, bringing up the rear of the field. 10 trucks ready to rock and roll here in this one is down. Out at corner number 4, the paint truck will make the hard left-hand turn, and we will go green flag racing here from Eldora Speedway. A little bit squirrely on the start, but quickly the 72 at Gaston will pull out in front as here comes the RFC machine of Matthew Wood. He'll drive down deep down into corner number 3. He's going to go for the slide jump here in corner number 3 and 4. A beautiful crossover is down across the line. Lap number 1 going to go to Jonathan Gaston. Gaston leads that first lap here on the evening as Matthew Wood slides back to position number 2. Josh Crider there in third, quickly moving up into that third spot, getting 2 spots out of the opening lap there as Jordan Hand in the 3 right there in position number 4. Dylan Carrier sliding back a couple spots here into the 5th position. Thomas Horvath right there ready to strike. Jaden Porter, Dallas Seward, Nathan Brookover, and Chris Getz bringing up the rear of the field early on in heat race number 1. A lot longer of a heat race than what we're normally used to here, I suppose, with the NASCAR Truck Series. They probably ran close to a 30-lap stage here, basically a 30-lap heat race, and we will be giving out some extra points here. So drivers that can finish up inside the top 5 here in this heat race and our next heat race will be able to earn themselves a lot of extra stage points here on the evening, plus a mandatory caution break at lap number 35 in our 8-man feature event, where our top 10 will earn some stage points there as well. So lots of opportunities to earn yourself some extra points here on the evening as Jaden Porter in the 74 ride going to run into some issues here. Looks like Porter has gotten into a little bit of contact out there on the Speedway. We'll take a look here at that 74 ride is battling here at the 38 at Dallas Seward. Seward looking to the outside here. He's going to squeeze up there. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that was a little neck coat or not, but 74 ride, no matter what, does go for a little loop-de-loop here, a little bit of rear end damage. Nothing major, though. It will keep that truck rolling and pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, it looks like he's found the outside fence here again. The back bumper is now blown off of it. He goes right around it. There is some debris on the Speedway, but we'll keep it clean and green as the 74 struggling a little bit out there on the Speedway and throws it in on his back bumper. Looking to put him a lap down is another 70s ride. It's the 72 of Jonathan Gaston, who's out in front, continuing to lead the way. Gaston at the front of the field is Matthew Wood right there in tow. He has not left the back bumper yet of that 72 ride. He's sticking right there with him, not letting him run away with it, but the two of them have started to open up a bit of a lead. Over 2 seconds back, we see our third place driver, the 5 of Josh Crider. Crider back there in position number 3 with Jordan and Dylan Carrier. Our top 5 here on the Speedway's Carrier looking to try to figure out a way to mount the challenge here on the 3 ride. Gets a good run through the middle of the corner there in 1 and 2. He's going to drive it down deep and low here in 3 and 4, looking for a good drive off as he looks to try to take the 4th position away from that number 3 machine. Jordan Hand trying to hang on to it as the 88 gets tight, pushes up the racetrack right in front of the 3 machine. Jordan Hand, a good piece of driving, able to get onto the binders, avoid heavy contact between the two of them, which could have caused our first caution flag of the evening. They both keep themselves pointed in the right direction and keep on rolling here on the Speedway. Looks like Jaden Porter running into some more issues here. He's now taking his truck down pit side here as unfortunately he had went a lap down, and you can see the handling of the 74 absolutely sporadic if they're on the Speedway. It looks like he's going to get into the inside fence, put some left front damage here here. He'll get stopped on the speedway and take that car down pit side. So a tough break there for the 74 of Jaden Porter, but we will see him later on in our feature event. Hopefully the crew can go to work as the 3 right ahead gets up, scrubs that outside fence here. He doesn't want to dirty up that Off the Gaming number 3 machine. The Rubbered Up Productions ride rolling there in that 5th position on the speedway, looking fresh and furious. Ain't there on the speedway is Matthew Wood, able to jump to the outside and make the move. The Racers for Christ number 16 of Matthew Wood jumps to the front of the field here as Jonathan Gaston slides back to position number 2. So Matthew Wood able to make the move, now puts himself out in front of the field here in heat race number 1. Let's see if we can get a look here at this number 16 ride out on the speedways. He was rolling out there on the track right now, looking very, very fast, looking very good as he has control of this race lead and looking to try to run away with it here as Wood out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. Get a good look at the Mr. Wood there on the screen. A little dark there, but you can really see the driver there in the bottom left of his webcam, and you can see those hands. You can see that wheel moving around the racetrack. These drivers are searching for grip. They're trying everything they can to keep these rides pointed in the right direction, and it is not an easy job. Look at him roll around the speedway. He's got those hands moving fast and furious there in that webcam, and oh, he's going to get up into the outside fence ever so slightly. Woo, baby, hang on to it. The 16 ride out in front, doing a great job. Huge shout to Mr. Wood, having the webcam turned off for us, giving us that great perspective as he rolls around the front of the field here in this one. Wood out in front, Jonathan Gaston there in position number 2. Josh Crider back there in third. He's about 4.5 seconds back of our race leaders. Dylan Carrier there in 4th, Jordan Hand in 5th. Thomas Horvath they're in the 6th position with Dallas Seward, Nathan Brookover, Chris Getz, and Jaden Porter bringing up the rear of the field here in heat race number 1. The 87 of Getz goes around. No caution flag on the speedway as of yet. No caution flag for Chris Getz. It doesn't look like he's going to get one. They're just telling drivers to roll around the outside and to avoid that 87, and he's hoping for a caution flag, hoping for maybe a gap here in the traffic to get this truck pointed back in the right direction as he's parked down low there in corner number 3 and 4. Is our race leader gonna roll around him here and down out of corner number 4. We'll click off another lap as we're down inside the single digits with 8 laps left to go for the 16 ride to win heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 up for grabs here is about a second and almost a 3/4 lead here, 1.6 seconds between himself and Jonathan Gaston. Gaston unfortunately sliding back here quite a bit as Josh Crider about 4 seconds back behind the 72. Dylan Carrier second behind him there in the 88, and then a second and a half back we see that free ride of Jordan Hand. Our top 5 separated by over 8 seconds here on the speedway is down across the line. Gonna click off another lap. Matthew Wood at the front of the field as he rolls around Nathan Brookover in that Sun Drop 7 ride as he will go a lap down here in this heat race. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are enjoying the racing action so far here on the evening, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as these drivers doing a fantastic job for us here this evening, and the racing action is just getting started. Things are just starting to heat up more and more and more. And once we get to that A main feature event, woohoo, baby, look at, we are going to see some absolutely amazing racing. Seeing all 20 of these NASCAR trucks out there onto the speedway for that A main feature event, 75 lap feature event here on the evening. Going to be a ton of fun to watch these drivers duke it out as out in front, Matthew Wood. Gonna click off another lap down across the line. He'll send it down into corner number 1. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 2. He'll take it down the Eldora Speedway back straight away into corner number 3. Nice and easy, gets up right time to that outside fence and out of corner number 4. You'll see 2 more laps left to go. 2 more laps left to go here in heat race number 1, and things are getting A little bit racy, a little farther back throughout the field is now Dallas Seward trying to stay on the lead lap here. Thomas Hovarth trying to hunt down the number 1 rider, Jordan Hand, for a top 5 run, as we do see that white flag fly. So one more time around for the 16 ride. It's over 2 seconds between himself and Jonathan Gaston. Gaston back there in P2, but the 16 ride nice and easy down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4 for the final time here in heat race number 1. Matthew Wood will pick up the win here in our first heat race of the evening. Jonathan Gaston going to come home in position number 2 with Josh Crider, Dalen Carrier, Jordan Hand, our top 5, all earning some stage points here in this first heat race of the evening. Thomas Hovarth there in position number 6 with Dallas Seward, Nathan Brookover, Chris Getz, and Jaden Porter rounding out the field. So we'll get ready now for heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 going to get loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them going to be looking for the win here this evening, as heat race number 2 is going to shape up like this. Starting on the pole in the number 2 machine is the Rumpered Up and Productions ride of Landon Burbage there in that pole position. To his outside, the Beyond Detailing number 77 of Aiden Lucas. Starting in position number 3 in the vasectomy number 6 ride of Brian Underwood. Underwood will start there in the 3rd position. To his outside, he's got the Walmart number 84 of Melvin Brengerer there in position number 4. Starting in the 5th position in the number 29 ride, that is Chris Stange. To his outside will be the 57 ride of Grant Applegate. Starting in position number 7 in the 25 ride, that is William Conley in the Firefox Nightly number 25 ride. To his outside in the Kubota number 99, the Kubota number 99 machine of Ryan Haller will start there in 8th. Starting at the back of the pack here in our 5th and final row here in heat race number 2 on the evening, it is the 69 ride, the Rumpered Up Productions machine of Jordan Crider. Into his outside in the Craftsman number 9 is the NKCF machine, that is Noah Blackwell. So 10 more drivers ready to rock and roll here for heat race number 2. Another 30 laps on the docket here for these drivers is down at a quarter number 4, the Rumpered Up Productions number 2 rider Landon Burbage. We'll see that green flag fly. He'll quickly put his pedal to the metal, gets a great run down through 1 and 2, and leads us down the back straightaway. Down into quarter number 3 as here comes Underwood taking a look underneath of the 2 machine. They're going to go door to door down across the line, but it looked like it was Brian Underwood able to lead lap number 1 here in heat race number 2. So Underwood out in front by inches. It's the 2 ride getting very loose up there on the high side groove. As you can see, this racetrack starting to slick up more and more and more. As that first heat race ran a lot of laps, we saw a lot of these drivers up and against the outside fence, roll the outside lane here at Eldora Speedway. We're going to see that more and more and more throughout this feature event. Drivers rolling the outside, and unfortunately that's just going to slick that off more and more and more. And I don't think these trucks, for the most part, are meant to run through that slick stuff very, very nicely, man. They are a bit of a wild animal here after the updates and everything else. The new tire model for these trucks and the dirt makes them very, very tough. As you see our race leader running into issues, tried that outside lane, hit the tough stuff, and unfortunately almost went around and almost took out the 84 ride of Melvin Brengerer. Up into position number 2 here in that Walmart number 84. As that Toyota TRT Tundra rolls there in that second spot. He's got Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing number 77 right there on his back bumper. Landon Burbage already sliding back into position number 4 and looking for Morris, Chris Stange, William Conley, Grant Applegate, Noah Blackwell, Jordan Crider, and Ryan Haller trying to hunt down our race leaders, as it looks like the Kubota number 99 ride ran into some issues here. Take a look and see what happened as 99 right down the back straightaway. Already looks like he's got some right side damage after potentially getting into the wall. We see him send it into the corner through that slick stuff. The rear end just steps out and around on him. Fortunately, no caution flag for the 99. Gets that truck pointed back in the right direction and keeps on rolling and trying to keep that truck pointed in the right direction, as it's a little bit harder than what most people anticipate. But right now, the vasectomy number 6 ride out in front here. Brian Underwood leading the way here on the evening. He's out to a 1.2 second lead here in heat race number 2 as Melvin Breck Brewer back there in position number 2. Landon Burbage there in third with Aiden Lucas there in fourth. William Conley up into position number 5 as Noah Blackwell rolling himself up towards the front of the field, already up 4 positions and up into that 6th spot on the speedway, looking to try to work himself inside the top 5 if he can figure out a way to get around this 25 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As wowzers, man, this is a ton of fun seeing these NASCAR Craftsman trucks out there on the dirt here on the evening, slinging some dirt, having some fun on the dirt track. And it's cool to see a lot of these guys that we've known as pavement racers for the whole time here that we've been a part of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Now seeing these guys out here rolling on the dirt, that's our bread and butter. This is where we come from. This is where I grew up on. And you smelling the race fuel, sitting at the dirt track, eating the dirt in my nachos or my hot dog or my French fries, and being able to enjoy the loud sounds of all those race cars each and every single weekend. This is the place that we love to be. Trust me, we like being in the booth there on the pavement side of things, but help in the booth here at the dirt tracks is always the best seat in the house. As out in front, Brian Underwood continues to lead the way as he rolls at the front of the field, still just over a second between himself and Melvin Breck Brewers, the 84. They're in position number 2, but here comes Landon Burbage. Burbage slid back to about the 4th position early on in this heat race. Maybe a little bit of strategy. Tire wear going to play a major factor here in this race, especially when it comes to late NRA main feature event. Whoever can save the most tires, whoever can come down pit side at strategic parts of that feature event, maybe get a set of tires onto these trucks, could potentially put themselves into the winner's circle here this evening. Now I know at lap number 35 we will have a stage break where I do believe we're going to see each and every one of these drivers head down pit side, but our 40-lap race after that, it's anyone's game, and if we don't see a caution flag, then it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to hang on to these tires, who's going to be able to have enough left for late in this race. Now, it could be the smart strategy to take it easy, just roll this truck around the speedway and don't kick it out sideways as the 2 rides been doing. These trucks, you don't want to be sideways. You want to try to keep this truck as straight as possible. Slideways looks really cool. It looks amazing out there on the racetrack, but virtually when you're sliding sideways out there on the speedway, you're getting no forward drive, no forward momentum out of those rear wheels. You're just sliding sideways, and you're kind of sitting in the same spot, running those RPMs. The straighter you keep that truck, the better you can manage those tires and the more roll you're going to have, especially off corner exits. So try to keep yourself as straight as possible could help you out in putting yourself into victory lane. As Brian Underwood continue to lead the way, he'll head down across the start finish line. He'll click off another lap here in our 30-lap heat race here this evening. Heat race in number 2 underway with 10 more laps left to go this next time by the start finish line. So this time down at a quarter number 3 and at a quarter number 4, 20 laps down, 10 more laps left to go for the 6 machine of Brian Underwood to try to put himself up into victory lane here this evening for our main feature, or for our second heat race of the evening. Trying to start on the front row of our main feature event, as he can try to pick up this heat race win, not only earn himself extra points here for the heat race win, but try to earn himself a better starting position in our feature event, as he would start to the outside of the front row, and that could be a big factor on you manage this race, where you kind of start is where you kind of gotta make your, your money here on the evening. You can start at the front. You can kind of take things a little bit more easy. You can try to work on a little strategy or take your ride a little bit easier and not give up as much time to, our race leaders when you start up there with them. But if you start towards the back of the field and you want to move forward, you might have to push the subject a little bit earlier than what you were thinking of, just to potentially keep yourself on the lead lap. Because if you hang out too far and too long trying to save those tires, our race leaders will be back there on your back bumper in a quick hurry. And right now you see Brian Underwood reeling in Ryan Haller. Here's Haller in that 99 ride, so ran into a couple different incidences out there on the speedway. The 99, the Kubota machine, trying to keep himself pointed in the right direction here, and out of trouble as our race leaders are reeling him in a quick hurry. Underwood, Brian Brewer, Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing 77 ride has been able to work himself back around Landon Burbage and up into position number 3, and now he's reeled in the Walmart number 84 ride, trying to see if he can figure out a way to get around that 84 and put himself up into position number 2 here on the speedway. Getting a great run down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. He's going to try the outside lane here, see if he can make the move around the 84. He gets a great run off as the 84 gets sideways down the bottom side of the speedway and move Aiden Lucas up into position number 2 here in heat race number 2. Now, does he have enough time to track down our race leader as Brian Underwood, nice and easy, down across the start-finish line, will click off another lap, and you'll see 3 more laps left to go. 3 more laps here for Brian Underwood to try to pick up this heat race win, but Aiden Lucas working himself up into position number 2. Can he find what he needs to track down that 6 machine and potentially take this heat race win away from him? The Beyond Detailing machine there in position number 2, continuing to try to run down our race leader, but he's starting to run out of time. As the 6 of Brian Underwood deals a little bit of lap traffic, Ryan Haller down low as the 6 machine out of quarter number 4 will see the white flag fly. So one more time around here for Brian Underwood in heat race number 2 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League's Eldora Series race here in the Craftsman Truck Series. The 77 Aiden Lucas sent it in there deep, couldn't quite get there as out of quarter number 4, it's Brian Underwood picking up heat race win number 2. Aiden Lucas there in second, Landon Burbage, Melvin Brent Brewer, Noah Blackwell are top 5. William Conley, Grant Applegate, Jordan Crider, Chris Stange, and Ryan Haller round out our top 10 here in heat race number 2. Any more of my students here, says Jonathan Gaston. I don't know, Gaston. I'm not sure how many more potentially might be in here, brother, but I'm sure there might be a few tuning in. That is for certain, as we will get ready. See these drivers rock and roll. We'll see these drivers get ready to battle here this evening as a quick warm-up session. These drivers are going to jump out onto the speedway here. They're going to lay down some good lap times. They're going to work on their trucks, work on their craft, see if they can figure something out here in this warm-up session to put themselves into a good position here for this feature event. They're going to make sure they have the right setups in. They're going to make sure that they are comfortable behind the wheel. They're going to make sure the crews are ready to rock and roll as they'll roll out onto the speedway. We'll jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up, and then we'll be back here for our main feature event in about 4 minutes from now. So don't go anywhere, as you don't want to miss out on any of the amazing racing action here this evening. Make sure you turn up that volume, cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here during our warm-up session. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for our warm-up session, and we're going to get ready for our A-Main feature event. Our A-Main is about to get underway. It's these drivers jumping out onto the speedway. They are going to get ready to rock and roll here for 75 laps of racing action. We're going to quickly take a quick look here as we got a quick little shout out here as we have a wonderful person jumping on board to give us the opening command. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. Tim McCready here himself.
Hi, this is Tim McCready, and gentlemen, start your engines. Hi.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you heard it right there from Tim McCready. Drivers, start your engines as we get ready to set them loose here from the beautiful Eldora Speedway for a wonderful night of racing action with the premium Stock Car Racing League. These drivers are ready to rock and roll. They are ready to go to battle as they're going to roll out onto the speedway here for our A-Main feature event. Our A-Main about to get underway. These drivers getting ready to be set loose for a wild evening of racing action. You guys came here for a show. Well, here you go. As starting on the pole in the number 16 machine, that is the Racers for Christ ride of Matthew Wood. His outside, our second heat race winner of the evening is Brian Underwood. They're in position number 2. Jonathan Gaston going to start in third with Aiden Lucas there to his outside. Josh Crider on the inside of row number 3 with Landon Burbage. They're in position number 6. Melvin Branger or Gillen Carrier round out our top 8 here on the speedway. Then we see in that 5th row on the racetrack, Jordan Hand and William Conley rounding out our top 10. Applegate, Horvath, Jordan Crider, Dallas Seward, Chris Stange, Nathan Brookover, Ryan Haller, Chris Getz, Jaden Porter, and Noah Blackwell bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are Green Flag Racing here at Eldora Speedway. Quickly, Matthew Wood onto the hammer, looking to slide off and clear. The 6th rider, Brian Underwood, down the back straightaway. But here comes Jonathan Gaston. Door to door, down into corner number 3, and out at corner number 4. They're going to drag race back to the start-finish line. It's Matthew Wood leading lap number 1 here in our A-Main feature event with the premium Stock Car Racing League. As the 72 and the 16 go door to door for the race lead, the slide jump out of the 72, it's Jonathan Gaston who's going to jump up and take this race lead away. A little bit of payback down here in quarter 1 and 2 as Matthew Wood looking for the slide jump there himself. Didn't pull the trigger and he'll slide into position number 2 and right in line with Jonathan Gaston here on the speedway. We saw these two in heat race number 1 start the evening off the exact same way. Gaston led the first half of that heat race before Matthew Wood was able to jump up and take the top spot away from him and run away that first race of the evening. Can Gaston hold him off this time? Can he keep him back there behind him? Or can Matthew Wood later on figure out a way to get around that 72 ride and maybe steal the feature event from Jonathan Gaston? Gaston, we've seen him multiple times in the third side of things. We see him run a lot of laps, not only in these NASCAR Trucks or the NASCAR Cup Series, but we see him run a lot of laps in the, the late models and a little bit of the street stocks, a little bit of everything over there on the dirt side. So this should be, no worse for wear from 72 as he did get up into the outside fence, and unfortunately that will give up the race lead as Matthew Wood was right there ready to pounce. The 72 gets into the outside fence, opens up the door for the 16 of Matthew Wood to take this race lead away, and we see caution flag number 1 going to fly. So our first caution flag here of the evening is going to be displayed as the Sim Racing Center number 74 ride. Unfortunately going to go around here very loose. Out at corner number 4, he's bouncing around. Some heavy contact there with the 87 rider, Chris Getz. Unfortunately pointing the wrong direction, sideways here in the middle of the speedway with our race leaders barreling down on him. They throw that caution flag, unfortunately, for the 74 ride. That may put him a lap down in at least deep in this field. Here's a tough break for that 74 ride. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here once again. These drivers ready to rock and roll. Now the big question is going to be, who's going to be able to save their equipment? Now, this may not be a big thing for these drivers to think of, but even when it comes to dirt track racing, a 75-lap race here at Eldora Speedway, the tire wear is going to be a big, big question. Luckily enough for these drivers, they may have an opportunity either right now or during our stage break at lap number 35 to come down pit side, put some tires onto these machines, maybe get a little bit of extra gas if they need it. Get ready for that final run to the checkered flag, as things are going to become very, very interesting later on in this race, as each and every one of these drivers ready to rock and roll here in this one. As my boy Nelson Johns, Nelson coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook with that like on the broadcast. How are you, Nelson? Nelson coming in, showing the love here in this one as we'll get ready. Set these drivers loose. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as the lights are off. The official iRacing pace truck here in this one, and we'll get ready to set these drivers loose, see what they can do out there on the speedway. And this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great race all evening long. I think we're going to see a great battle here between a lot of these contenders. This is going to be a lot of fun. We look back through the field, Underwood right there ready to strike the 88 rider. Dylan Carrier working himself up towards the front of the field as well. Carrier, he's been dabbling quite a bit in the dirt side of iRacing, and he's been getting better and better and better. Maybe be a sleeper, starting a little deeper in the field. The jump up here and contend for the win, as now we see Matthew Wood get up and scrub the outside wall. That's going to bring the 6 rider, Brian Underwood, right down to his inside. Door to door at the front of the field. Wood out in front by inches as the vasectomy number 6 of Brian Underwood works down to his inside. As here comes Jonathan Gaston right there on his back bumper as well. The outside lane once again very, very tacky. The crew has went to work here at Eldora Speedway. They have turned over this racetrack. They've added some water. They've made this track very, very tacky and up there on that high lane, but drivers keep the roll laps on it. They continue to pound it in, pack it back in. It's going to get slicker and slicker and slicker before the end of the evening. We may see this racetrack completely slicked off for these drivers, and that's going to make tires that much more important out there on the speedway. As Matthew Wood leads down the back straightaway in the corner. Number 3, nice and easy out of corner number 4. The 16 right out in front by 7/10 of a second down across the start-finish line. Jonathan Gaston back up into position number 2 as Brian Underwood slides the 3rd. Dylan Carrier there in 4th with John Crider running our top 5 here on the speedway. Aiden Lucas there in position number 6 with Landon Burbage, William Cotley, Grant Applegate, Noah Blackwell, our top 10 here on the speedways. Melvin Breckbrewer and the 3 ride having some contact. Around goes the 3 machine. Jordan Hand goes for a loop-de-loop. The caution flag will fly. Heavy contact there for the 38 ride of Dallas Seward. As Seward unfortunately nowhere to go as Jordan Hand is turned around. I'm not sure if Jordan's very happy with that one. Hard contact, unfortunately, kind of getting hooked and turned around there. He may come up here and show his displeasure with that 84. He is going to give him a couple bumps. The 84 is going to give it to him right back as dirt track racing going to bring the fire out of each and every one of these drivers here on the evening. We'll take a look and see what happened and how this all got started as the 3 of Jordan Hand and the 84 of Melvin Breckbrewer unfortunately making some pretty heavy contact. The 3 ride sends it in down low. They make some contact, and then unfortunately I think for the 3 ride he sent it in there pretty deep, sent it in deep, and comes up, tail tanks the 84 ride, which kind of straightens him out. Unfortunately, puts him into that 3 ride. I think it's the 3's getting tight, traveling up the racetrack. The 84 trying to turn down the speedway. Wasn't going to stop rolling down the speedway and wasn't going to let off the throttle, knowing that he didn't want to give up a ton of positions, getting out of shape there with that 3 ride. Unfortunately, that is a combination of bad things for the 3 machine of Jordan Hand and for the 38 of Dallas Seward. Seward just really nowhere to go there in the 38 ride. Innocent bystander, wrong place, wrong time there for that number 38 machine. Let's see if we can take a look here and see the contact from his perspective as we'll jump right on board with Dallas Seward as he sees it happening, sees the 3 right turned around and trying to aim for the middle there to avoid him. Unfortunately, the 3 coming down the speedway. Heavy contact, heavy right front damage. We'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. There's Matthew Wood at the front of the field. to see that pace truck make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side. You'll see that green flag at a corner number 4, and we are back to battle here at Eldora Speedway. Matthew Wood out in front, leading the way as the 72 with Jonathan Gaston trying to hold on a second, bouncing off the wall is Dylan Carrier. Carrier up and off the wall, able to keep that 88 right, put in the right direction. Hopefully not too much damage there for him. As here comes Aiden Lucas. Lucas now up into position number 5 as the Beyond Detailing ride rolls there in the 5th position. We see Josh Crider in his Scott Bloomquist Inspire number 5 ride. They're in the 6th position, but we do see the caution flag fly here once again. As cautions breed cautions here in this one. Some more bump in there after the fact, as looks like things are just going to get tight here. Unfortunately for the 57, he watches up the racetrack, kind of bounces off that 5 ride, and as he does, you watch the number 87. He's going to slide off the speedway right here. Trying to get to the outside, the Mountain Dew machine unfortunately gets up a little too high. Unfortunately, the 5 ride is already there as Crider nowhere to go, and the 57 is going to bounce off him and right down in front of William Conley's the Firefox Browser ride. Nowhere to go, slides into him here. Then you see the 84, Melvin Brangruer, trying to avoid him as well. Wow! What a save out of the 84 ride. My gosh, what a run right there. I don't know how he avoided contact. I don't know how he didn't get absolutely destroyed right there. Let's see if we can get another look here at this number 84, as somehow or another he was able to avoid all that contact right there and keep this 84 for the most part in pretty decent shape, as 25 was spinning around right in front of him. Had no time to react, but luckily enough able to get point in the right direction. Actually gets a little contact there beforehand with the 54 ride of Horvath, and I think that's what's going to save him right here. This contact, as we see the 57 go down across the nose of that 25 ride, contact right here just shoves the front end down and around, and I think that really helps him avoid major contact here with that 25 ride. Just a little bit of a right rear quarter panel damage for that 84, but for the most part, he gets himself out of trouble there in that one. Should be mad at himself. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it never works in racing. Is it's never the driver's fault. It's always somebody else's fault out there on this speedway. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Until they can hop out of the race and watch a replay and see what really truly happened, everyone will just have whatever comes to their mind. We are back to Cleveland Racing. Wood back onto the loud pedal is Gene Bellamy, becoming a brand new follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Gene, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Welcome to the Peacemaker crew, smashing that follow button. It's out in front. Matthew Wood looking to pick up the win here at Eldora Speedway. Gaston, Carrier, Underwood, and Applegate try to hunt him down. Aiden Lucas there in position number 6 as Josh Crider works down to his inside. Noah Blackwell, Landon Burbage, and Melvin Brangruer are top 10 here on the speedway. Let's see if we can jump on board here with this number 2 machine as he's rolling around the speedway. See if we can get an inside look here at this number 2 machine out there on the speedway, as I do believe we got Mr. Landon Burbage up on the webcam here. You'll get a good look not only at what he's doing here in the race car with the driver helmet cam, but you can get the in-sim speed shot right there as well and really get a good look at what he's doing there with the hands, everything else here, and exactly what you see on the screen in the trucks, and having to make these last second decisions on where to go, whether you send it through the middle, the high side, down low, if there's contact or anything in front of you, or drivers that are getting slowed up. When do you make a move? When do you try to keep yourself out of trouble out there on the speedway? And it's very, very tight racing as he's all over the back bumper of the 84 ride right there. Sends it in just inches off his back bumper into corner number 1, looking to roll the outside lane here to put himself to the outside of the 84 and the inside of the 77 as he's going 3 wide racing here at Eldora Speedway. Brent Brewer down low, the 2 rider Burbage down through the middle in the 77 of Aiden Lucas, unfortunately sliding backwards here from the 77 ride. Leads right there to the outside as they're 3 wide down the back straightaway. 3 wide battling here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League at Eldora Speedway is the number 2 of Landon Burbage right here, rounding out our top 10 on the speedway, trying to get that rubbered up Productions. front number 2 right towards the front of the field as we are going to see another caution flag fly. So the caution flag going to come out here once again. We will take a look and see as it looks like Ryan Haller in the 99 right going to run into some issues here. That issue may be the 74 right of Jaden Porter as it looks like they may run into some issues. Already quite a bit of damage for both rides, and unfortunately both of them going to get some more. See the 99 rolling the inside lane right here. I don't think he's really got anywhere to go in this one as the 99 down low. The 74 right here gets a little loose up on the high side. The truck just kind of washes down the speedway, and as it does, he's trying to hammer down, trying to get a good run down the front straightaway. Unfortunately, he goes right over the nose of the 99 ride. They make contact. They both go around, and that will bring out our 4th caution flag of the day. So we'll stack them up. We'll rack them up. We will get ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll get ready to see these drivers battle it out door to door once again. Here is stage number 1 and our only stage here of our feature event, about to come to a close here in about 12 laps from now. So do you give it everything you got? Do you put the pressure on to try to put yourself into a points position here, try to earn yourself some stage points here in this race? And well, you know, trying to get that extra couple points could potentially turn a bad day here at the end of the race into a half okay day, with those extra stage points here really kind of making up the difference if your second half of this race does not go to plan. As we'll get them ready to rock and roll, we'll get them stacked up door to door once again. On the front row, it's still the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Jonathan Gaston there to his outside. Brian Underwood, Dylan Carrier, Grant Applegate, our top 5 here on the Speedway. As the pace truck down pit road once again, the 16 with another great launch down through corner number 4, and he'll lead us nice and easy into corner number 1. But here comes Gaston and Underwood. Both of them looking to put the pressure into the inside of our race leader, but he's not going to falter. But there it is. He does make it. We spoke it into existence. Gaston door slams him down through 3 and 4, but he's able to hold on to that race lead. So Matthew Wood staying out in front just by inches. In the 72 ride, we're close enough that they could have had some issues there on the speedway. So 16 again gonna door slam the outside fence. You gotta be very, very careful with doing that. Is not only is that gonna potentially damage that race truck, but it can potentially pull you right up onto the catch fence and send you off the racetrack in a heartbeat doing a caution flag. So you gotta be very, very careful with how much you're tapping that outside fence, but it can be there for your best friend and savior, Bacon. If that rear end starts to step out, you can kind of use it as a little bit of a backstop. Use it to tail tag the outside fence, get that car straightened out, and send it down into the corner. That's exactly what we're trying to use it for lap after lap after lap as he's running inches from the edge of existence here on the evening. Jonathan Gaston right there behind him in position number 2 as the vasectomy number 6 right of Brian Underwood works down to his inside. Underwood looking at trying to jump up into position number 2 here on the evening. Dylan Carrier and the Scott Bloomquist inspired number 5 ride of Josh Crider rolling there in position number 5 on the speedway as Grant Applegate down to his inside. Applegate in the Mountain Dew Toyota rolling there just inside the top 5. Noah Blackwell, Aiden Luke is right there at 7th and 8th with Thomas Horvath there in position number 9, and Jordan Crider, our top 10 here on the speedway as the Rubber Up Productions by Ankra number 69 ride rolling there in that 10th spot now on the speedway. He's going to get some contact though into the 54 ride, hefty contact between Horvath and the 2 ride of Landon Burbage. That's going to send both drivers back a couple spots. Here's Horvath now into position number 12. Landon Burbage slides all the way back to position number 14 here on the speedways. Melvin Breckbrewer and Jordan Hale will gladly jump up and take those positions away. Now Melvin trying to work himself around that 69 wide, trying to work himself up inside the top 9 here on the speedway. But right now, both of these drivers, the 69 and the 84, are both in a points position. Here they can make it to the end of stage number 1 and not let this 3 ride of Jordan Hand get around them. Wood out in front looking for the stage win. He's going to roll down across the start-finish line. He'll click off another lap as lap 33 of 75 up onto the board here at Eldora. As he's going to lead us down the back straight, we see him send it hard into corner number 3 here. Gets up into the outside fence ever so slightly, and again, he's losing a ton of momentum when he's doing that. He's got to be very careful as Jonathan Gaston is right there within striking distance as he's Scott Bloomquist inspired. Gaston Iron Racing Graphics number 72 machine rolling there in position number 2, and then you see Underwood, Carrier, and Applegate. Our top 5 here on the Speedways. Matthew Wood down across the line will click off another lap. We should see the yellow flag come out sometime here in the next lap or so. There it is. Caution flag onto the Speedway. In our first stage and only stage here of this feature event will be displayed. So mandatory caution here at lap number 35. We will give out some stage points. Matthew Wood going to earn himself some of those points here on the evening as he's going to pick up stage win number 1 here on the evening. Jonathan Gaston, Brian Underwood, Dylan Carrier, Grant Applegate, Aiden Lucas, Josh Crider, Noah Blackwell, Jordan Crider, and Jordan Hand are top 10 here on the Speedway. And to earn themselves some extra points here on the evening. And those stage points are a big thing. Let's see if we can pull our stage winner up into the broadcast booth. Let's see if we can get Mr. Wood up here. We do have Mr. Wood on the webcam here. Let's see if we can get the webcam up, and let's see if we can get Mr. Wood into the Discord real quickly. Where are you? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our stage 1 winner and our current race leader, Matthew Wood. Let's see if we can get Wood up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Matthew, brother, a great first stage here of this feature event, man. We saw you have a great battle with Gaston during that first heat race on the evening as well. You're able to get that heat race win and now the stage win here to start this evening, man. Take us, what's going through your mind right now? What's the game plan in these closing laps?
Just stay ahead of gas, and my left arm's cramping up because I can only use it. I'm on an F1 wheel, as you can see. I'm on an F1 wheel, so I'm cramping pretty bad, but going back green here, hopefully I can keep ahead of gas.
Absolutely, brother. Good luck out there and have some fun.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our stage 1 winner here on the evening as we are back to Green Flag Racing. You get a great look right there at the 16 machine as we go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Out in front, Matthew Wood leading the way in this one, but gets up into the outside fence. Here comes Gaston. Gaston right there ready to pounce, was trying to make the move, unfortunately couldn't quite get the run that he needed to figure out a way to get around Matthew Wood. As Wood continues to lead the way, we will see the caution flag come back out here in this one. So the caution flag going to come back out as cautions breeding cautions, and this time looks like Aiden Lucas and Noah Blackwell are unfortunately gonna come together here in this one as the 77 and the 57 right there close together, but the 9 ride just sends it in there way too deep. See Josh Crider unfortunately getting a little piece of that one as well as the 5 ride. Getting into that one as Noah Blackwell sent that car in deep, unfortunately takes out the 77 ride right here as so we get another look at this one. Noah Blackwell in this 9 ride gets a big run here off corner number 4. Drivers in front of him, but then sends it down low here. He's about 4 or 5 car lengths back of the 77 ride, so he takes his big run and just unfortunately sends it in there, gets right into the back bumper of the Beyond Detailing number 77. They're both going to go for a spin here on the Speedway, unfortunately, for the 9 ride and for the 69. Oh, man, tough break right there for the Robert Up Productions machine of Jordan Crider as he has really nowhere to go and unfortunately T-bones the side right into the driver's side door of the 9 machine of Blackwell. You see everyone else scattering, trying to avoid contact with him, trying to stay out of trouble themselves here, and unfortunately heavy damage there for 77 and the 69 and that number 9 machine on the Speedway. Let's see if we can jump on board with the helmet cam here of Noah Blackwell and see what he goes through. sends it in there deep. Unfortunately, it looked like the 77 trying to back the corner up to get a good run off. And two different driving styles. They find each other there on the bottom side of quarter number 1. That will bring out caution flag number 5 as we have stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. Matthew Wood, Jonathan Gaston, Brian Underwood, Dylan Carrier, our top 4 here on the Speedway is another great restart for that 16 machine. Matthew Wood has been a restart machine here as you see the slide jump out of the 6th run of Brian Underwood. Underwood looking to try to jump up into position number 2. Jonathan Gaston looking to pay him back here in 3 and 4. Couldn't quite pull the trigger on the slide jump. Is there 2, 3 wide back here throughout the field. Each and every one of these drivers trying to work themselves up to the front of the pack. Here comes Landon Burbage. Burbage working himself up and through the traffic right now, as well as the 2 ride there in the 8th position, trying to figure out a way to get around some of these other drivers. See the heavy damage on the number 5 ride of Josh Crider. Crider heavy front end damages the 9 ride. A Noah Blackwell right there on his back bumper. And door to door here throughout the field, everyone trying to work themselves through traffic, trying to put themselves into the best position possible, but we will see the caution flag come out here once again. As Jaden says, Jaden is here, Gaston, just a little late. Hey, it's always better to be a little late than never at all. Jaden, welcome in, showing the love here in this one, cheering on Mr. Gaston out there on the Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll take a look and see what happens here to the 2 ride of Landon Burbage, as Burbage in that number 2 ride is unfortunately going to send it down into corner number 1. Things get a little tight here. Tries to check up to avoid contact with the 9 ride. Unfortunately, 54 didn't get the memo. Sends it in there a little bit deeper. Gets into the back bumper. Unfortunately, was knocks down and around. Sideways on the Speedway. Oh, Chris gets in there as well. Slides into that 2 machine. Pretty good damage for both drivers as Overstaff trying to back that truck up, get it pointed back in the right direction. Luckily enough, able to stay on the lead lap, but has tons of damage. And he'll have to try to get that crew to look at as he heads down pit side and trying to roll back out onto the Speedway without losing a lap. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, woo, man, we've been in for a treat so far here this evening. We've seen some amazing racing action. These drivers putting on one heck of a show for us. And a huge shout out to each and every one of the drivers coming on board with the webcams as well. So all these drivers jumping in here, giving us a perspective behind the wheel here on the evening. Huge shout out to each and every single one of them. I know Mr. Crider, Josh Crider, was trying to give us the foot camera as well. Unfortunately, it is very, very dark for that foot cam. Cannot really see it, but we can see all these drivers out there on the Speedway, rocking and rolling out there on the racetrack as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. As the green flag back out into the air for the racers for prize number 16 of Matthew Wood. He has been the driver at the beat here this evening. The 16 ride trying to be a reflection of perfection here on the night, but he's going to get up into the outside fence. That's going to open up the door down low for the 6th ride of Brian Underwood, and they're going to go 3 wide down across the line. Gaston with a big run. He's looking to go for the slide job. He'll slide up in from the 6th ride. Couldn't quite pull the trigger on our race leader is door to door down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. Matthew Wood looking to stay out in front, continue to just keep his foot in the throttle and roll that outside lane to perfection. The outside lane becoming a little bit worse and a little bit worse. The tires starting to fall off here for each and every one of these drivers. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be able to keep their truck alive, who's going to be able to keep that right rear tire intact here throughout this feature event without blowing a tire, being able to stay out on the Speedway. It's going to be a big question on that one. Make sure everyone has enough fuel in their runs and everyone is ready to try to make it the final 30 laps of this feature event. Is 30 more laps left to go, this time by the start finish line. 30 laps left to go, 45 laps now into the history books here for each and every one of these competitors, as we're going to go to a quick major gaming crank it up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as never mind we get the caution flag. Caution flag will be displayed here. The crank it up was going to come out, but these Maker Gaming. Crank it up. Caution flag will be displayed as it looks like Thomas Horvath going to run into some issues here in the 54. The Mobile 1 right down low here. Send it into corner number 1 and sideways right here, and unfortunately Ethan Lucas just sends it in there, trying to slide up the racetrack just behind him. Unfortunately, gets in there a little bit too deep. You'll see the 77 right gets tight, the truck straightens out, and unfortunately just clips the rear end of this 54 ride, and that's going to spin Horvath around, nose into the inside fence. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage for the Mobile 1 machine. Everyone able to avoid him as he's going to get this truck spun back around, put it back in the right direction, and keep on rolling here on the speedway. So a quick caution flag, not a whole lot of debris to clean up, and we'll get ready to go back to battle here at Eldora Speedway. As we'll get ready to crank it up here on the evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on the restart. These drivers are going to get ready to give you the sights and sounds here around Eldora Speedway, our A main feature event. As the lights are off, the official iRacing pace truck. We're going to jump on board here. Let's jump on board with Melvin Branger. Melvin's been working himself around the speedway in the 84. I'm going to start a little deeper in the field as we're going to start with this number 84. We're going to jump right on board with him on the helmet cam as we crank it up here for this restart. Lots of beating and banging right there for Melvin. You see him working that wheel, trying to keep that 84 ride pointing in the right direction, but caution's breeding caution. There are crank it up caution flag is going to come out quickly here in this one. We'll take a look back, see what happened here in the first stage. Going to go for our ride in the 29 ride. So the 29 goes for a little bit of a loop-de-loop right there, down in a corner number 3. That will bring the caution flag right back in. So we will stack them up, rack them up. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. As sometimes you gotta wear your sunglasses at night for the 25 right. William Conley, he's trying to use a little bit of that magic to help himself, trying to put himself into victory lane as the number 25 right rolling in there on the speedway. Crank it up here for another restart. Get ready to go back to battle here at Eldora Speedway as we continue with our PSCRL Gaming. Crank it up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow, and subscribe button as we crank it up here again. going to fly here in this one. We will take a look back and see what happens. As it looks like Jordan Hand going to run into some more issues here with that 3 machine. We'll take a look at the Rumbered Up Productions number 3 right down low. Going to send it up the racetrack here into the middle, but the 84 trying to cross him over. The 3 gets a little bit squirrely. They make contact again as they ran into issues a couple times throughout this feature event in the 3 ride. Going to go for a loop-de-loop down into the Hunt Brothers Pizza logo on the front straightaway, and that will bring out our caution flag once again here on the evening, as that will end our crank it up here for these drivers as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a few more moments. Now the 3 machine and the 84 have already ran into some issues throughout this feature event. We'll see if the 3 ride was maybe a little bit unhappy again with the contact that he's received from that 84 ride. Doesn't look like he's going to go up and show his respects to the 84 ride again. Looks like he's going to follow in line, but maybe we spoke too soon. No, looks like he's going to think better of it and chill there in position at the back of the field as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll and ready to go back to battle here on the evening. Now, the big question is going to be for a lot of these drivers, do you come down pit side? Do you put in some work? Do you get these cars repaired, maybe some fresh tires onto it? We do see the 5 ride of Josh Crider electing to go down pit side. He has got some repairs, maybe a fresh set of tires onto the 5 machine. Now we'll have to wait and see if he can try to work himself back up and through the field as the drivers towards the front have yet to come down pit side and put on fresh tires as we are back to green flag racing. So we'll see if those fresh tires will pay off or not for the 5 ride. See if he can work himself back up towards the top 10 here on the Speedway. And some more contact right there with the 88 ride. Gonna get up into the outside fence ever so slightly. So the 88, a Dilla Carrier, now sliding back to position number 5 on the Speedway. But the caution flag will be displayed. So cautions, breeding cautions here at Eldora Speedway, and unfortunately, looks like some 3-wide racing right here. You see that 5 ride, big run, slides up in front of the 99 ride, and the 99 hauler tries to cut down the racetrack, bounces off of Chris Getz, and then as he's losing momentum, trying to stay out of that number 87 ride. Looks like the 3 machine just going to get in there a little bit too hard here, and 3 machine of Jordan Hand going to give him a shot into the back bumper, and that is going to spin the 99 right around as the Kubota machine trying to keep himself out of trouble and just trying to stay pointing in the right direction. Unfortunately, could not avoid that one as 3 right from behind going to run into him, jack that truck up. Once you lose the rear end, it is tough to keep these things pointed in the right direction. You see how tough it was right there as the Kubota machine going to go for that loop-de-loop, and the yellow flag being redisplayed. So we will stack them back up, rack them back up, and get ready to go back to green flag racing. Big Whale RC, how do you join the leagues? Big Whale RC, I mean, there's tons of different ways throughout Facebook communities, everything else. The leagues and drivers, they're consistently posting updates and everything else, especially over on our Peacemaker family group over on the on Facebook, and you can jump into our Discord as well. A lot of times drivers or leagues, if they're looking for new drivers or anything else, will jump up in there as well. But we're going to get ready to rock and roll here. We're going to get ready to set these drivers back loose. As we're going to go back to green flag racing. We'll get our Discord. We'll let you know how to jump in there and where you can find some of these leagues to be able to join in on the fun. As out in front, the 16 ride, trying to be the reflection of perfection once again here this evening at the front of the field. Matthew Wood trying to put himself into victory lane here on the evening as Wood seeing these laps continue to click down in a quick hurry. As only 18 more laps left to go, 19 laps left to go. That time by the start-finish line. So 19 more laps for Matthew Wood to try to hold off 19 other very fast, very amazing drivers back here behind him. Is Jonathan Gassington right there, knocking on his back bumper for a lot of laps here, trying to figure out a way to get around that number 16 machine. Same with Brian Underwood. Dylan Carrier right there in position number 4 and looking for more as William Conley there in 5th. And the 2 line of Landon Burbage has found himself a way back up here into position number 6 on the Speedway. The 9 Noah Blackwell there in 7th. As Aiden Lucas in 8th. And we see Grant Applegate, Melvin Brandbrewer, our top 10 here on the Speedway. As the 88 truck, Dylan Carrier, pointed in the wrong direction. He is going to go for a loop-de-loop, and the caution flag will be displayed once again for the Phoenix Esports machine. As Dylan Carrier going to go around, the caution flag will come back out, as it looks like he is going to try to battle with this 25 ride in a big runoff. Quarter number 4 here. As the 25 slides up the speedway, unfortunately, he gets loose here trying to stay out of the 88. You see the 88 ride losing the rear end as well, trying to keep himself from any contact with that 25, but unfortunately, as he does that, this truck is just going to go off the speedway, wash up into the outside fence. See, we get a look at it right here as the Majors Garage NJBDesigns.com ride just going to get a little bit too high right here. You see that rear end step out as he's trying to avoid contact with the 25. He's going to meet the outside fence, and unfortunately, nowhere to go for a Conley as 88 kind of bounces off that wall right in front of him. He's going to help him go around nonetheless, and the 88 backwards up into the outside fence. Not the place you want to be as he gets a little contact there with the 69 ride, but sees this field roll around him, and now going from inside the top 5 to outside the top 15 here is not the place you want to be here at Eldora Speedway with only, a couple handfuls of laps left to go in this feature event. You want to be kind of setting yourself up right now and rolling towards the front of the field, as we did see Josh Crider come down pit side, get some repairs, get some tires on this 5 ride, see if he can work himself back up a little farther here. Now inside the top 10 for this 5 machine, so maybe the fresh tires will help him out, maybe help him inside the top 5 here to finish off this evening, as he was already right there just on the outside of the top 5. Maybe that swing may not be a miss here this evening. That big swing and coming down pit side, taking the risk of losing all that track position may pay off and put him into a good position on the speedway as we go back to Green Flag Racing here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Beautiful Eldora Speedway as 2 wide, 3 wide. Once again at the front of the field, it's the 72 rider Jonathan Gaston trying to strike, trying to take this race lead away. Gets a great run down the back straightaway. Does he pull the trigger on the slide job? No. He's going to roll through the middle as they're going to go door to door off quarter number 4. Door to door here at the front of the field. Matthew Wood trying to stay out in front of the slide job from Jonathan Gaston. Gaston's going to take that race lead away, but a great crossover there from Matthew Wood. Wood now going to roll that bottom to inside lane down through quarter number 3 and out at quarter number 4, looking for a big run here as they go door to door down across the line. It's too close to call. I think Matthew Wood stayed out in front and now going to throw that slide job himself, but a great crossover into Jonathan Gaston. Gaston's going to lead us down into quarter number 3, nice and easy. Out at quarter number 4, looking for a big run and trying to hold off this 16 machine is Jonathan Gaston. Late in this race will take this race lead away from the 16 of Matthew Wood. Wood going to slide back to second, but he's not done yet, and here comes William Conley. Conley right here ready to pounce as the Firefox. Knightley number 25 Toyota up into position number 3, and he has reeled in that 16 ride in a quick hurry. Matthew Wood potentially falling off here a little bit late in this race as Noah Blackwell there in position number 4, and looking for more is Brian Underwood trying to hold on to that 5th position. He's got Landon Burbage and Josh Crider right there on his back bumper. Crider now up into position number 7 here on the speedway, but the wait and see if he can try to work himself back up inside the top 5 here on the racetrack. As Melvin Brentford there in 8th, Jordan Hand back in 9th, and Aiden Lucas rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Jordan Crider there in 11th as Dallas Seaver in the 38 ride rolls there in position number 12. We got a great shot here on board with this number 838 ride as Seward rolling on the outside of the speedway, doing a great job here on the racetrack, putting himself into a good position throughout this feature event. Is a great look here at Dallas rolling on the racetrack here with the webcam, as well as Seward battling door to door now with the Phoenix Esports 88 ride of Dylan Carrier. As they battle here on the track, you see Dallas rolling there in this 38 ride, trying to work himself up and towards the top 10, has a few more drivers to try to pass, and he's got to try to hold off this 88 ride, but doing a great job out there on the speedways. They roll door to door here for position number 12 on the racetrack. Both these drivers doing a fantastic job battling here. A little deeper in the field as battling towards the front of the field, starting to heat up a little bit more and a little bit more. Huge input down the seaward, and all of our drivers who came in with the webcams here on the evening as we'll get ready. Take a look here at the front of the field. The caution flag is going to fly. Little farther back, we see some drivers running into issues. One of those being the 29 of grid stage. Heavy contact there for the 29 ride. The caution flag going to come back out. He takes that ride down pit side. Let's see what happens here to Chris Stage. The Stage unfortunately running into some issues. The 29 ride already with a little bit of contact on that car, but unfortunately bounces up into the outside fence. And look at the carnage that ensues on the 29. And once he gets stopped there on the bottom side of the front straightaway, the official's going to call that caution flag here. You see that damage trying to get this truck to turn again. Unfortunately, it just does not want to turn. He's going to go around again here. Look at the damage. Turn that from a NASCAR Craftsman truck into a modified out there on the speedway. It's a Northeastern mod now, rolling out there on the racetrack because it's a no-fendered race car now. And unfortunately, it is no longer a running race car as he's taking it down pit side and looking to get some heavy repairs done for that 29 machine. So we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here once again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go as late race caution flag really going to mix things up here for these drivers. And with inside 10 laps left to go, we are going single file restart here. So single file restarts inside 10 laps left to go. So maybe a little bit of breathing room for this 72 ride of Jonathan Gaston, as that may be what he needed. And a huge shout to Landon Burbage as well. Landon doing a great job here throughout this race. He's been up and down throughout the field. But man, oh man, he has been working himself up towards the front of the field here late in this one. He's been able to make some good moves and being able to put himself into a decent position here on the evening. And we got to give a shout out here to Landon for jumping out onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, Landon in this Rubbered Up Productions #2 ride as we get back to green flag racing. I know he's focused on this race and what's happening here in front of his windshield. But unfortunately, he lost his grandfather due to cancer earlier on today. So our hearts are with Landon and the whole Burbage family here on the evening as a tough loss. Losing a father, a brother, a grandfather out there. And a very, very heartbreaking story there. As I know his grandfather loved to watch and cheered him on here. Everything he did with iRacing and everything in real life racing and what he did in the world and helped creating such a wonderful young man. And our hearts are with you, Landon, and your entire family as a heartbreaker, losing his grandfather earlier today to cancer. And still being out here on the racetrack, man, that is one tough cookie to be back out here behind the wheel. But whatever he needs to do to kind of take his mind off of everything that may be going wrong in real life and being able to enjoy a little bit of time on the simulator with his friends and take his mind off things is never a bad thing. And our hearts are with you, brother. But hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast before the end of the night. He's right there inside the top 5, looking very, very good as we do see the caution flag come right back out here during that restart. And that means we'll get ready for another late restart here on the evening as it looked like the Beyond Detailing 77 ride. Aiden Luke is going to run into some issues here as some contact. 84 with a big run gets onto his back bumper and spins him around. Nowhere to go for the 88 ride as upside down goes Dylan Carrier. Carrier goes airborne right there. We saw Nathan Brookover hard contacting to that one as well with the 99 ride of Ryan Haller and the number 57 of Grant Applegate as well. But man, oh man, Dylan Carrier going upside down here in corner number 1 on the speedway. As contact in front of him sends the number 77 back up the racetrack right in front of him. He climbs the outside fence, goes upside down, and what a ride there for the number 88 88 machine. Let's see if we can jump on board here, get the helmet cam perspective of this 88 ride as he sees what's happening in front of him here. He slides up the racetrack. It's a good run out at corner number 4, and there's the contact. The 77 ride goes around, hoping to clear him on the outside. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get there, and that is never a sight you want to see out of your front windshield. As we stack them up, rack them up, we go back to green flag racing as Matthew Wood able to jump up on top of the wheel and take this race lead back away from Jonathan Gaston. Gaston slides back to position number 2 as William Conley there in third, trying to hold on to that third spot, is bouncing all around the racetracks. The 9 ride, Noah Blackwell. Blackwell trying to work himself up inside the top 3 as they're trying to hunt down our race leader, Matthew Wood. Wood able to use that restart to his advantage to put himself here into the top spot once again. Jonathan Gaston sliding back to second, but the heat is on right now for that third spot on the speedway. William Conley has that position, but Noah Blackwell, Landon Burbage, and Josh Crider trying to take it away here as they roll right behind the 72. And Gaston is Gaston again getting loose in that 72. Almost gave up that second position on the speedway as the white flag has been displayed. So one more time around here at Eldora Speedway for Matthew Wood, as Wood looking to pick up the checker flag down for the final time into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Matthew Wood is going to pick up the win here at Eldora Speedway in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Wood able to get the checker flag. He'll park his number 16 truck up in the Eldora Speedway victory lane here this evening as Gaston going to come home in second, and William Conley going to round out our top 3 here on the evening. What a run and what a drive for our race winner. Matthew Wood going to get ready to burn down the house here on the front straightaway. Not a whole lot of pavement to make some smoke, but he's going to sling some dirt again. And man, what a run. We thought Jonathan Gaston had this one in the bag after being able to finally take that race lead away from the 16 machine, but being able to bounce back and take this win back away from Jonathan Gaston with some late race caution flags. And oh man, not sure what Applegate was doing right there, but that was not very nice as Applegate sends it in there and smashes into the side of our race winner. Luckily enough, that truck stays pretty clean out there, and we can still take some good pictures here afterwards of this 16 ride out there on the speedway. As I guess that right front is pretty busted up here, but he's going to try to pull it into victory lane. He may have to try to turn this truck around here as he's going to roll it right up the ramp here into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Matthew Wood. Is Wood picking up the win and pulling this 16 right up into victory lane. There you go. He's going to back it up. He's going to turn it around and back it in here. Get the cleaner side of the race car now up into victory lane. Let's see what his backing up skills are like here. See if he can get her up the ramp without, oh, he does a pretty good job right there. Gets her turn, gets her into victory lane. He's going to pull her up here at the Eldora Speedway victory lane. What a run, what a great drive for that 16 machine, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Matthew Wood as he gets the win here this evening. We'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth for some post-race interviews, man. What a run, what a race. I hope that each and every one of you guys had a lot of fun, enjoyed this racing action, and if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button on the broadcast, hit that share, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube. As right now we have over 20, almost 30 viewers over there in the YouTube stream, and we only got 4 likes. 4 likes on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those numbers up. Let's get those numbers up. Let's see some double-digit reactions here on the broadcast. Hit that mother fluffing like button right now as we'll get ready to pull our race winner, Matthew Wood, up into the broadcast booth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. Our race winner, Mr. Wood. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Matthew, man, a great race, a great run here in this one as you're able to put yourself up into victory lane, but it came without a little bit of a run there. You had to kind of work yourself late in this race to figure out a way to get back around Jonathan Gaston. Luckily enough, you were able to get some late race caution flags, get reeled back into his back bumper. You're able to finally make one of those count. You're able to work yourself back around that 72 and then drive yourself here into victory lane at Eldora Speedway as our one and only trip to the dirt track here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Take us back through that one and how you were able to take this win away from the 72 here this evening.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my camera to focus. I don't know if it's been like that the whole race. It was extremely blurry. Anyway, I just felt like I had a good truck the whole race, really. I was able to run the top a lot more than Gaston. We're a lot cleaner, and I had more pace. Of course, Gaston me and him are both from West Virginia, so we know how to run dirt. But no, it just cautions, a lot of cautions, and a lot of frustration from what I heard. But no, it's focusing on my wheel now. Hey, I'm back here. No matter. But no, Gaston, I think he just got a better restart at one time, and that last restart, I only had him at the line by 2,000ths of a second, so that was close. And only reason I was able to make that move is because he left me room. So me and him, I think, raced really respectfully with each other. It was a good race between us. He beat me on Bristol Dirt last year, and had to get him back this year. So no, just good racing with him, good racing with Conley and Brian, and I don't know what was happening in the back. From what I heard, it was a warfield. I'm glad I wasn't back there.
Absolutely. It was a bit of a hornet's nest back there outside the top five, man. There was a lot of beating and banging and battling, a lot of elbows up racing there on the speedway behind you, but you didn't have to worry too much about that. What you had to worry about was what was right there on your back bumper, and that was Jonathan Gaston. And throughout this race, we saw Underwood right there ready to strike, and a lot of other fast cats working themselves, in and out of the top five here on the evening. But as you look through, the finishing order here on the evening, is there anyone inside, the top 5, top 10 that really stood out and really surprised you here with a good run on Eldora Dirt here at the NASCAR Trucks?
I mean, Conley, really. I don't really see Conley racing dirt very much. So, I mean, good on him. He had a great night from all things considered. I mean, go back to Applegate and Neil and Aiden. Of course, I'm teammates with them. I'm their team motor, and they had great nights going, and just the end didn't go their way. And I know Jordan came up from a low position. Dallas did really well. I want to shout out Dallas because Dallas did incredible tonight. From what I heard, top 10. Hey, that's a good finish. No offense, Dallas. Take all offense to that you want.
Absolutely. Hey, anytime you can show up to a dirt track with any caliber of drivers out there and still be able to come home with a race car in one piece and roll it up onto the trailer and be able to pick up a solid top 10 run is a good day, on pavement and on dirt, and especially on dirt because it's a whole different ball game than what you guys are used to. Now, how do you kind of, settle into a race like this when you're so used to running a lot of pavement racing here with the league and with all these drivers, and now not knowing really how they're going to handle the dirt track, how they're going to be able to maneuver around the speedway here, going from the asphalt to the dirt track? How do you focus and how do you kind of get prepared for a race like this?
You just have to have experience, really. I used to run a lot of dirt late model and on iRacing, of course. Dirt, just ran a lot of dirt, and I kind of figured some tricks out here and there. And without experience, I mean, it's really hard. And I think we saw that tonight, but people were interested. They want to learn, and that's what it's all about. You got to learn. Real quick though, I just want to shout out Landon, and I guess we'll get to that in a minute though. So, yeah, it's a rough day for him.
Absolutely, definitely a rough day for him. Definitely glad to see him out there on the racetrack, though, taking that little bit of time to maybe not focus on with the passing of his grandfather, but being able to come out here, have some fun with you guys, josh around, have some fun out there on the speedway, kind of just take his mind off things for a little bit. So definitely a huge shout out there to Landon Burbage again for having a good run today, having some fun out there on the speedway, and our hearts are with him and his family right now, and their tough time right now. But Matthew, a great run, not a lot of tough times for yourself. As out there on the speedway, you're able to lead the most laps, able to pick up that first heat race win of the evening, being able to pick up the stage win as well. And then here we are at the end of the evening as the dust settles at Eldora Speedway. You're able to put yourself up into victory lane, maximizing your day points-wise, and being able to pick up the checkered flag here at Eldora. Man, a big run and a big race here for yourself. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and performance here on the evening?
Just, NJP Designs, Noah, Landon, of course. Landon, great buddy of mine, and he knows if anything goes wrong, if he needs anything, we're all here. We're always here for him. Thank the Lord for the opportunity to always be out here, and to be alive. They're gonna do physical therapy on my hand, screwed it up somehow, and luckily it didn't hurt too much tonight because I had to use it. Because I had to do this all night and not use my right hand. So I'm feeling it now that the focus is off, but no, doctors do a great job. And yeah, just my family and everybody that supports me, you for doing your job.
Absolutely, brother. It's always my pleasure to be up here in the broadcast booth and seeing you guys out there on the racetrack, especially when it comes to the dirt track style of things, as that's my bread and butter. That's my grassroots right there, is being here on the dirt track. And it was fun to see you guys out here and seeing you guys compete on the dirt surface here this evening and seeing you be able to put on a smackdown on the rest of the field in almost dominating fashion here, almost being the reflection of perfection and leading almost every lap here this evening. But gave a couple away to Jonathan Gaston, but at the end of the day, able to pick up that win. Congratulations on that win. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack. Now, I know next week we won't see you back here on the dirt. We'll be headed back to the asphalt, as asphalt's usually how you get to the racetrack. Dirt is what you race on, but next week it's going to be opposite way around. You guys might be taking the dirt road back home and getting ready to go to the asphalt racetracks.
Yes, sir. That's how it's going to be.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we can't wait to see you back out there. Good luck, have fun, and hopefully we'll see you right back here in the broadcast booth and maybe right back up here in Victory Lane next Saturday.
West Virginia 1-2. Let's.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Matthew Wood as he comes home in the top spot, picking up the win. Huge sport and great race here for him. He's got that webcam up there as coming home in position number 1 here this evening. We'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, Mr. Gaston, Jonathan Gaston, coming home in position number 2. We're going to get ready to pull the 72 ride up here into the broadcast booth. Let's see if we can pull Jonathan up here for his post-race interview as he is waiting down pit side. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jonathan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you copy?
Yep, I got you.
Jonathan, man, a good run and a good race here in this one. We saw in the first heat race that you and Matthew Wood are going to be 2 tough trucks to beat here this evening, and you guys proved that throughout this race. You had a couple of good challengers there. Throughout this one, we saw William Conley right up there, Josh Crider, Noah Blackwell, Brian Underwood, all trying to jump up and take that second and third spot away from you. We saw, obviously, Brian Underwood able to make a couple moves, get in front of you a couple times. You were able to get back around him, but it was really that fight between you and Matthew Wood for the feature here this evening. We saw you were the only other driver to lead a lap besides that 16 machine, and we thought late in this race, once he got around him, it was going to be tough for him to get back around you. Unfortunately, he found a way and was able to not make a mistake after that and keep himself at the front of the field as you were right there, almost just a few laps away from seeing that checkered flag first here this evening. What do you chalk up this late race? Mistakes to possibly just, the restarts or the abundance of caution flags there late in this race? What did you need a little extra of to try to put yourself into victory lane?
Well, that one of the last cautions there, Matthew threw a slider. I ducked low. I thought I had him, and when the caution came out, good old iRacing gave it back to Matthew. I think if I could have stayed out front right there, I probably could have kept him behind me. I believe I was a little bit better on the slick than he was. I was trying to throw that slider line. And there towards the end of the race, I overdrove it, and you saw me get loose and almost looped it. That would have been really bad to throw away that good of a finish. But I think I had him on the long runs, but we just couldn't keep the green flag going there.
Absolutely. Now, do you think you would have had something for him if we would have saw a little bit longer of a green flag run throughout the evening? Do you think live longer in the run, or did you kind of have it set up there for a little bit more of a short run style of a race?
I think on the long runs, I definitely had him. I was able to be a little bit more consistent, um, throwing it in there harder on the bottom, and then kind of letting it slide up to that cushion, and just being able to get the power down. He was able to get the power down more coming out of the turns, and I knew if I could get a slider on him and rattle his cage, that I probably could have pulled a Dale Earnhardt there and stayed in front of him. But give him credit; he's a good racer, good young man. I know I've threatened to drive to his house. We live in the same state and unplug his stuff, but I don't know his address yet. But I'm working on it.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about last season. You were able to get the one up on him at Bristol Dirt. Now, I've seen you here quite a bit, and a lot of our other dirt series and everything else have some big runs and be very competitive on the dirt side of things here. And I know Matthew came from a little bit of a dirt background as well, both being from West Virginia, being around a lot of dirt tracks there, and being around some of the best in the business to ever do it on the dirt. Did you take that into effect here on the evening, knowing that, you two maybe with a little bit more dirt background than the rest of these drivers were going to be the two that kind of battle it out and duke it out here on the evening?
Yeah, it went the way I figured it would go. Now, give credit. Some of them guys learned pretty quick, and Brian was right up there. William was up there. Dylan was up there. I mean, the learning curve shrank a lot tonight with those guys. I know a lot of them don't have the confidence, but I'm telling you, they're a little bit more practice on dirt, and they'd be right there with us. But yeah, growing up here in Pennsboro, West Virginia, we had big half-mile track, and I've watched Scott Bloomquist the last race there. He chased Bart Hartman for 100 laps, and I painted this car up, and I was hoping to be up front, and I was going to use one of his famous quotes, but since I didn't win, I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket, so maybe I can pull it out if I get a W later on.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure without a doubt, man, after some great runs and great performances here throughout this season, and I'm sure, in these closing races of the season, I'm sure you're going to see you up here in victory lane one of these nights. Whether it's on dirt or on the asphalt, you're always a threat out there on the speedway, and you show it here tonight as you almost picked up the win. You have to settle in for a solid second place run here tonight in this one. Jonathan, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great performance here this evening?
Oh, well, first, thank my students. I had a few students chime in today and watch. I really appreciate that. It's kind of nice running in front of somebody and putting on a good show that actually sees me on a daily basis. So I get a shout out to all of them. Hall Drilling, Tom's Tire, Precision Design, and my Gaston's iRacing Graphics. Give a shout out to you for doing this. You do an awesome job. And the PSCRL guys for putting on this show. I've kind of grown to like it over here, and I plan on sticking around a little bit longer.
Absolutely, brother. We love to hear that. We love to hear you're having some fun out there on the speedway. I'm sure you would have had a lot more fun here this evening if you could have been one spot better. But, man, a great run, a solid drive here tonight as you parked that 72 up on the podium here at Eldora Speedway in these NASCAR trucks. Jonathan, congratulations on the great run. We can't wait to see you back out there in action next Saturday.
Yep. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Mr. Gaston, Jonathan Gaston, coming home there in position number 2. A great run, a solid drive all evening long for that 72 machine as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher. Our third place driver, Mr. William Connolly, coming home in position number 3. Let's see if we can pull him up into the broadcast booth. We got him here on the webcam as well, so you guys can get a look here inside the mind almost of this number 25 ride as he comes home in position number 3. A great run and a great drive. Let's pull William up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Will, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I do. How are you?
Not too bad. Well, man, what a run, what a drive here for yourself. Now, we talked to our race winner, Matthew Wood, our second place driver, Jonathan Gassett, already. Now, they both come from dirt, backgrounds here on iRacing and being around dirt tracks for, their life growing up and everything else. But this is a little bit different of a story here. And they said you're probably the most surprising driver up here inside the top 5, top 10 here on the evening, man. Giving you a lot of praise. It's a great run and a great drive here on the evening, and you're able to park yourself up in position number 3.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was all over the place, I didn't know what I was about to do or doing until the end, and then by that point, all hell broke loose. It was like a caution over and over again because the track was so slick. You can barely keep your tires up on. You know what I mean. It was slick.
Absolutely. Definitely a very slick racetrack. Definitely tough to keep your tires underneath you out there on the racetrack. And when you're running inches off of each other out there, you never know when someone's going to get a big run or drive down in front of you or put that front bumper onto your back bumper and try to push you through one of these corners, and how you got to really catch onto these cars. They really got to be right on your tippy toes lap after lap after lap here on the dirt track and here at Eldora Speedway, man. Take us back through this race, though, and how much different you got to kind of attack a track like this or navigate through traffic compared to what you would do on the asphalt to what you did here tonight in the dirt track.
The line moves all over. It moves a lot. At least at the start of the race, at first you're at the top, and then the best line was on the bottom, and then it switched back to the top again. So you had to feel around, or else you'll get left behind. And eventually, it went to the top, and that was the only place that you could really run. I wanted to see if I could go on the bottom there at the end, but I didn't want to take that risk where I was at, so.
Absolutely. It's one of those, high risk, high reward kind of moments out there. We see it all the time here on the dirt track where you kind of want to not follow the leader. You want to try to search around the racetrack, but with the laps closing down in a quick hurry with so many tough competitors back there behind you, if you jump down low, you lose a few seconds a lap. All of a sudden, you can slide from inside the top 5 to outside the top 10 in a quick hurry as they can just steamroll right around you and kind of leave you high and dry down low on the bottom side of the speedway, or sometimes up on the hindsight, depending on how the racetrack changes throughout the night. But you were able to stay on top of it, able to keep yourself in good position, and being able to pull yourself up here onto the top 3 here this evening, surprising a lot of these drivers, but maybe surprising yourself a little bit here tonight as well, as you get that car up inside the top 3 and onto the podium, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive here tonight?
Well, I just want to shout out Mom and Dad and the admins for putting on the race. They found a setup that still works for Dirt 4 for these trucks, even though it was removed. So support for it. I'm glad it worked out. And I want to thank the chat we had tonight. You know who you are, and Wood for those kind words when you talk to him. And Blackwell, he almost got me, but I came out ahead luckily. So, that's it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, it was a heck of a run and a heck of a drive here this evening for you. Park that 25 right up here onto the podium. Now we go back from the dirt track racing here back to the asphalt next Saturday, and a little bit more of your style. And I know we've had some good runs, some strong performances there on the asphalt, and hopefully this is a little bit of a momentum builder and more trips up here into the broadcast booth for yourself, William. And hopefully we'll talk to you more and more up here, and maybe one of these nights up in Victory Lane.
Yeah, next race I won't be here. I'll be in Atlanta for the first race of the playoffs. But so they'll get ahead of me a little bit in the points, but hopefully it's not too bad. I'll come back and smoke them.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to seeing that. Have fun in Atlanta. Enjoy that race. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun for the first NASCAR playoff race of the season. And as much as it's crazy that the NASCAR series are already going to the playoffs, but brother, we hope you have some fun out there, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for William Conley as he comes in and putting on a great show here in this one as Jimmy 6 times coming in showing the love, says great race, y'all. Good coverage, Peacemaker. Absolutely, Jimmy 6 times, always trying to give you guys the best coverage possible here on Peacemaker Gaming, giving you guys all the looks around the Speedway and giving you guys a great showing here and a great broadcast to enjoy all these amazing drivers. As thanks, Lonnie, for the T-Mac video. Yeah, huge shout out there as well. T-Mac coming in. That was absolutely amazing. Seeing Tim McCready coming in and giving us the command to fire up the engines here before our main feature event was absolutely awesome to see. And man, it was absolutely awesome to see all these drivers jump out there onto the dirt track, trying their hand here at the dirt racing surface, as it is not very easy to navigate these pavement NASCAR trucks around the dirt, especially since iRacing kind of keep up on the dirt aspect of it here for these guys. So not really having the setup, not really having the tires like they did before, but you know, these guys find a great setup. These guys able to really handle these trucks around here, put down some great lap times, run some amazing side-by-side 2-wide, 3-wide racing if they're on the racetrack, and putting on a heck of a show for us. We can't thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in as well. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers. I thank each and every single one of y'all for tuning in, and any of the new followers or subscribers, welcome to the Peacemaker crew, welcome to the Peacemaker family, as unfortunately that's going to do it for us here tonight. What a run. What a drive, though, man. That was a ton of fun, man. We had way too much fun here this evening. And, man, well, we might have to throw another dirt track into the schedule here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League next season. We have to try to hit up a different one, try to get these drivers a little bit more onto their tippy toes here after watching these guys compete and battle like that, man. It was a ton of fun. And it's always fun watching them on the pavement, but here on the dirt stuff, man, that's what, that's amazing. That was amazing. But great race, great show, great drive for Matthew Wood, able to pick up the checkered flag. And I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here all evening long. And I'll see you guys all back here tomorrow evening. I'm not sure what we got going on, but we'll try to get something going tomorrow. And we'll keep you guys updated on what we got planned. Make sure you guys check us out over on Facebook. Make sure you guys check us out over on Twitch and YouTube as well. If you guys are watching over on Facebook or Twitch right now, make sure you guys follow us over on Twitter as well at Peacemaker Gaming, and that way you guys can stay updated on everything that's going on here and when we're going to go live or what we plan on doing or some of the video games that we want to try to kind of get a little dabble into. We might have to you know, maybe bite the bullet and get the old Black Ops 6 code and play a little bit of BO6 here before the end of the weekend. See if we can get a little gameplay in there with that. Maybe try some different things out as well, and just have some fun here with maybe a couple nights off over the next little while. So maybe we'll try to get some different action out here onto the channel, give you guys some different things to look at, maybe dabble again into Fortnite. It's been a little while since we played Fort. It's been a little while since we played, you know, Warzone, so who knows what we'll dive into and dig our claws into here with a few of our nights off before some more of our series get started here in the mid-September. But listen, thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all later. Peace out for now, babe. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! What a run, what a race.